done. And, obviously Springfield helped, but just to make it to the playoffs, you can't win it unless you get there. So, what's the emotion as you guys have clinched the spot?
Yeah, I think we earned it this year. We had some ups, we had some downs, but we've been fighting all year. There's been some ugly games, some great games, and everything in between. So, to clinch with not knowing what was going to happen in the Lehigh game, but we had to do our business, and we did it. So it was exciting. Big cheer in the room after we found out we made playoffs, so it was awesome.
We were in Charlotte with you guys, scrapping and clawing, just trying to figure out lineups, things like that. What's the emotion when Clay walks in the room and then you got Ilya back and you got Miro too? What is that like for you guys as you're fighting and you get those reinforcements?
Yeah, that's nice. I think we went 10 forwards and 8D on Sunday in Charlotte, so it was different, but that's what the American Hockey League is. You kind of have to grind, and there's going to be different lineups. Every team goes through it, so that was just part of the draw. But yeah, seeing those guys come on the bus today, it's almost like a breath of fresh air. Pro was up there for 3 or 4 games, and we weren't sure if he was going to come back with how good he did, but nice to have him back. And Miro, same thing, he was playing awesome for them up there, and then Mud yesterday pretty much wins them the game. So yeah, that's a huge boost for us going into this game and into the weekend and into the playoffs.
Kinger talked about wanting to play desperate hockey tonight, and that it's been a playoff environment the last couple weeks. How prepared does this team feel headed into next week's playoffs?
Yeah, I think, getting everybody back in almost a full lineup, obviously without some older guys in the lineup. But, I thought we played good. I thought once we get some chemistry with the lines, playing together, get some practices in, we'll be good to go.
Just how much fun has it been, your line, kind of been with Crookshank and, Dalton Smith a lot this year? How nice has it been to, be that fourth line energy kind of, role, and then, putting in some goals, along the way?
Yeah, for sure. The last couple of years I had a role here, and, this year we had more injuries than normal. So, moved up in the lineup a bit, but, that's where I like to play. I think that's my game, playing hard, playing physical. And me, Crook, and Smitty played together last year for a bit, and we loved it. And, just to get chemistry in the last couple of games, I thought we've been playing really well together. So it's nice to, kind of get with your line and, just be ready going into playoffs.
Obviously, a very young team here. How nice has it been to sort of, I know you're not an old guy yourself, but to be a little bit of a mentor to some of these guys, having, won a Calder Cup and, having gone through this?
Yeah, it's definitely a different role than it is the last couple of years. But, all the young guys that came in are great. They all want to learn. They all want to get better. Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been different, like you said, not being old, but being one of the older guys. It's been fun, but obviously playoffs are a huge step for us, and guys get a lot of good valuable experience in it. So if I can pass down any wisdom to them, then I'm going to do my best to do that.
One of the things Kinger mentioned is when those guys return, everybody can kind of feel like they go back to what their expectations are. You're not being asked to do too much or asked what you do. Do you guys feel that when you go out onto a line and you're like, okay, this is my role, this is what I'm supposed to do? It kind of just feels like everybody's in their spots.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said before, I think that's part of the American Hockey League where guys are kind of moving daily, so you kind of got to adjust to it. But, having Pro and Miro back, they played 20, 23, 24 minutes a night, and they're so good offensively. So, it kind of just takes like a little breath of fresh air from everybody behind them, and, we can just go out there because most times their top guys are going against them, and the other guys just can roll over and, hopefully hit the guys and create space for them when they get back out there.
What have you come to appreciate about this group? You've had years where things came easy to a team and you maybe cruised to a bye or whatever it was. But what have you come to appreciate about how difficult it can be to get W's, but also this particular group? Because every team's a little bit different.
Yeah, every team's different for sure. I think just our bounce, the way we can bounce back after games. I said we've had some ups and some downs this year. We've had a couple stinkers this year, but with like the older guys and the coaches, just trying to keep it as light as we can. When it's time to dial it in, we dial it in for whether it's an hour and a half practice or before the game doing video, but just trying to keep it loose in there. The younger generation is a little different than the older generation. So, you just got to have fun with them. They love it. We play sewer ball, play cards. We play a game called Mafia on the bus to get everybody involved. So it's a great group of guys.